Have you ever heard of the Bermuda Triangle? That spooky patch of ocean where ships and planes supposedly vanish without a trace. It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? For decades, tales of mysterious forces, alien abductions, and portals to other dimensions have swirled around this infamous area, stretching between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. But what if I told you that the truth is far less paranormal and far more ordinary? Today, we're going to peel back the layers of myth and mystery to uncover what is really going on in the Bermuda Triangle. Get ready, because the reality is just as fascinating as the fiction. The legend really took off in the mid-20th century. Sensationalist writers and magazines began connecting unrelated incidents, weaving a narrative of a cursed region. One of the most famous cases is the disappearance of Flight 19 in 1945. 5 U.S. Navy torpedo bombers vanished during a training exercise. A rescue plane sent to find them also disappeared. It's a chilling story, and on the surface, it seems inexplicable. But when you dig into the official reports, a different picture emerges. The flight leader was experienced, but new to the area, and his compasses were reportedly malfunctioning. He mistakenly believed they were over the Florida Keys when they were actually far out over the Atlantic. The squadron likely ran out of fuel and ditched in a stormy sea. And the rescue plane? It was a Martin Mariner, a model known for exploding in mid-air due to fuel vapor leaks. A nearby ship reported seeing an explosion around the time the rescue plane would have been in the area. Suddenly, the supernatural explanation starts to look a lot less likely. So, if it's not aliens or a time warp, what is causing these incidents? Let's start with Mother Nature. The Bermuda Triangle sits in a region notorious for some of the most violent weather on the planet. It's a hotbed for hurricanes and sudden, intense tropical storms that can whip up monstrous waves and fierce winds with little warning. Imagine being in a small boat or a low-flying plane. When a storm like that materializes out of nowhere, it could easily overwhelm even the most experienced pilots and captains. And let's not forget about rogue waves. These are massive, spontaneous waves that can reach heights of over 100 feet, far larger than surrounding waves. For a long time, they were considered sailors' myths. But we now have satellite evidence proving they exist. A single rogue wave could easily swallow a ship whole, leaving no time to send a distress signal and leaving virtually no wreckage behind. Another major factor is the unique oceanography of the area. The powerful Gulf Stream current flows right through the triangle. It's like a massive river within the ocean, moving at speeds of up to 6 miles per hour. This current is strong enough to quickly carry debris far away from an accident site, making search and rescue operations incredibly difficult. If a small plane goes down, the wreckage could be hundreds of miles away before a search even begins. This creates the illusion that the vessel simply vanished into thin air. Add to this the fact that the ocean floor in this region is incredibly deep. The Puerto Rico Trench, the deepest part of the Atlantic Ocean, is right on the edge of the triangle. Anything that sinks there is likely gone for good, buried miles beneath the surface where it's nearly impossible to find. Then there's the geology of the seafloor. Some theories suggest that large deposits of methane hydrate, a sort of ice-like substance, are trapped under the seabed. If there's a geological shift or a rise in temperature, this methane could be released in a massive, explosive eruption of gas. This phenomenon, known as a methane eruption, could drastically reduce the density of the water above it. A ship sailing over such an area would instantly lose buoyancy and sink like a stone. While this is a plausible scientific theory, there's currently no direct evidence linking a specific disappearance to a methane gas eruption. It remains an intriguing possibility, but isn't considered the primary cause for the triangle's reputation. What about the stories of compasses going haywire? This is actually one part of the legend that has a grain of truth to it, but it's not paranormal. The Bermuda Triangle is one of the few places on Earth where true north and magnetic north align. True north is the direction to the geographic North Pole, while magnetic north is what a compass points to. In most places, there's a slight difference between the two, which navigators have to account for. As you sail through the triangle, this difference can shift and even disappear, which could confuse an inexperienced navigator who isn't aware of this anomaly. In the days before GPS, a simple navigational error caused by this magnetic variation could send a ship or plane hundreds of miles off course, leading them to run out of fuel over the open ocean. So, when we combine severe weather, rogue waves, the powerful Gulf Stream, deep ocean trenches, and potential magnetic anomalies, we have a recipe for accidents. But here's the most crucial piece of the puzzle: human error. In a vast majority of documented incidents within the Bermuda Triangle, human error was a significant, if not the primary, contributing factor. This includes everything from poor decision-making, like flying into a known storm, to navigational mistakes or inadequate vehicle maintenance. People make mistakes, and in a high-risk environment like the open ocean or the sky, those mistakes can have catastrophic consequences. The legend of the Bermuda Triangle often glosses over these very human, very understandable errors in favor of a more exciting, supernatural explanation. But perhaps the biggest myth of all is the idea that a disproportionate number of vessels disappear in the Bermuda Triangle in the first place. Let's think about the location. This area is one of the most heavily trafficked shipping and flight corridors in the world. Countless commercial ships, cruise liners, private yachts, and airplanes cross through it every single day. When you have such a high volume of traffic, it's statistically inevitable that some accidents will occur. The U.S. Coast Guard, the very organization that would be conducting search and rescue missions, doesn't even officially recognize the Bermuda Triangle. They have stated publicly that when you compare the number of disappearances in this area to the sheer volume of traffic, the rate of incidents is no higher than in any other heavily traveled part of the world's oceans. The mystery is essentially a product of focusing on a few dozen incidents over a century, while ignoring the millions of uneventful, safe journeys that happen all the time. In the end, the Bermuda Triangle is less of a paranormal hotspot and more of a perfect storm of geography, weather, high traffic, and human storytelling. The legend was built on a foundation of cherry-picked stories, exaggerated details, and a disregard for scientific explanations. Today, with modern technology like GPS, advanced weather forecasting, and improved communication systems, navigating this area is safer than ever. The mystery that once captivated the world has been largely solved, not by finding a single secret force, but by a combination of simple, logical, and scientific facts. The real story of the Bermuda Triangle isn't about what we've lost. It's about what we've learned. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the most logical explanation is the right one, even if it's not the most sensational. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into one of the world's greatest modern myths. What do you think? Were you surprised by the real explanations behind the Bermuda Triangle? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed unraveling this mystery with me, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more adventures into science and history. Until next time, stay curious.